Hi everyone and welcome to FilmDirt. I'm going to talk about a huge movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a huge movie because it came out on HBO at about 4 hours, I think just a little over 4 hours. That's a lot of movie to watch, isn't it? They broke it up into a few chapters, 5 or 6 I think, and that helps. I had to visit the little boy's room once, but other than that, I watched the whole lot in that sitting. So just to clarify, this is only a review for Zack Snyder's Justice League that came out on HBO's TV channel in 2021, and not the earlier version of Justice League released in 2017, I believe, finished by Joss Whedon. That is a terrible movie. I went to see that in the cinema, and I just didn't understand what was going on, and it was a completely lopsided movie. Actually, I will review it. It's complete crap, and it's 1 star. So now that we got that out the way, no, I'm serious. 1 star. Its tone is all over the place. I don't quite know what's going on. There's at one point too much comedy, and the next it's fairly serious from, I assume, scenes that Zack Snyder directed himself while he was still on the project, and everything added to it just seemed a little bit weird. And Henry Cavill's CGI mouth. The less said about that movie, the better. That's completely separate to this. However, when Zack Snyder returned and was allowed to finish the project, I have to say it's fantastic. Now, there's a certain TV episodic feel to it. That's how I looked at it. Don't treat it as one long movie because I think you're going to get bored. Have a break in the middle like I did, or have 2 breaks, and treat it like a mini-series. And I have to say that the characters are nicely fleshed out more. We learn more about their motives, and I'll try and describe what I felt when I first saw it. It was as if we're holding in the moment, and that's what happens when you read in a graphic novel. You know, you're staring at the picture frames, and sometimes you look at the beauty of the image and the pose of the character, and you're just held on that moment. And that's what all the little bits of slow-mo, actually it's not little bits, there's quite a lot of the movie that's slow-mo, but it works, and you're just holding on the moment. And I think it's a nice way to bring emotion, and I really did enjoy holding on to key moments. Now, I love 300, and that's what this movie reminds me of. 300 was great. I just like the beauty of the images and like the gold tone of it. And this movie does have that same gold brown filter to it that I know Zack Snyder likes. That filter. He used it in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. It's just a little bit too dark for me. As with those earlier movies, just lighten it up a little bit, and it doesn't really have to be that monochrome. I found with 300, it wasn't that dark. It was an actual graphic novel, and that worked for that. But this, I just felt we just went a little bit too far with the muted colours and the gold sepia filter. If we just lighten up on that slightly, I think it would have worked more. We've already established that it's a graphic novel come to life. I'd just like to have maybe just seen more of a natural element to it, as I'm just admiring the visuals and what's happening on screen. But it's a very minor nitpick. I enjoyed looking at it for what it was, because I was more invested in the characters and the story, which is not what happened in the original movie released in 2017. Now, I think you're looking at the Flash, and his moment is more fleshed out. We get to see his moment, and it's not abbreviated so much as per the previous movie. And also, Cyborg's intro is much more evident. We get to learn about this character, and we get to learn more about what's made him a cyborg. I mean, it's almost a tragic story, and we see, especially later on in this movie, the connection he has with his parents and the understanding of what you are. And that was quite a nice moment, and it works best right at the end when it's finally revealed why he's doing what he's doing and why his parents did what they did. And that was a really nice moment, and that's kind of what rounded off the whole movie almost. It was just to have that moment at the end, and that was great overall. Also, Steppenwolf's purpose is much clearer, and it's a much better design than what we got in the 2017 movie. It just looks more real here, and I know that's how can this look more real? But when you see it, you know what I mean. It just looks more threatening, and it looks like it's actually a creature in that space. And it just looked more like a cartoon in the previous movie, but here it looks great, just more lethal. I mean, he's wearing like an armoured suit, and that looks more believable than what he was wearing before. I think it's a good moment, and the motivations were much clearer. I understood what the point of the mother boxes were, because not only do we get that expanded in various scenes, and why Cyborg needs one, and why the Amazons are protecting theirs, but we're also seeing the Greek god battle, and the way that was executed, I thought was amazing. I know we're basically looking at images, and there's not really much story going on apart from the explanation of the mother boxes and their history and their purpose, and it's ridiculous really, but it's just executed so well. It's just like an assault on the eyes. You're just admiring it, and the few key moments of real adrenaline really kick in. Now, I don't know what this Green Lantern creature is. I'm just looking at his face, and I don't know what I saw there. Much rather have seen a human character, maybe. Both Wonder Woman and Aquaman, we just get more time with them, and that's what we really needed in the first movie, where you've got a lot of characters here, and you just need to spend a little bit more time. And when you've got a big movie like this, it just works better as a TV special or an episodic series. I mean, they've made 1 4-hour movie, and I think it just needed that extra time just to make each character's story work. Otherwise, they're just anonymous, like they were in the 2017 movie. Now, one thing that did bug me about the earlier movie is the portrayal of Ben Affleck's Batman. It just looked a bit too soft, and it's mentioned a couple of times that he needs to, I'm paraphrasing, he needs to retire and his joints are gone. And I didn't want to see that. I just wanted to see Batman be a badass, and he is in this version, thankfully. He just looks more like the Batman we saw in Batman v Superman, which personally I loved the portrayal of. And we just get that replicated here, which is fantastic. Although he's more sympathetic, obviously, because he understands Superman's motives now, and he's part of the Justice League. Everyone's friends here. so we get that angle, but also the character is the same, and that's what's important. I wasn't quite sure what to make of the Martian Manhunter character. I think it was nice that he was lying low in Man of Steel, and also Batman v Superman. It's nice that the character played by Harry Lennix is worthy to be in the Justice League as well. I haven't read the comic books, but I'm just going with it because it's told so well here. And because it's told so well, I don't have to read other expanded materials because there's so many interpretations. As I said in an early review, I just like to keep live action separate to any books I read and any cartoons I watch. I like to keep each medium separate, and it really annoys me when you have to read other expanded materials just to understand the movie or TV show you're watching. I'd just rather have it all explained to me in the film. And if it's told well, that's even better. I'm just really appreciating what Zack Snyder's done here. Now, I'm just going to loosely mention that the reason I heard Zack left the original project was due to a family tragedy and that he wasn't fired. I can't understand anyone having to continue working when that happens with them. So I'm assuming either that was the reason or it was a mutual separation with Warner Brothers. But Warners have made some very strange decisions. I mentioned in my Batman v Superman review that they cut the film down, and the theatrical cut just omitted some crucial shots that really tell us the problem that Superman is having and how his motives look to the general public and to Batman. And that really needs to be told on screen. And in Warner's efforts to, I assume, shorten the movie to get it showing more in theatres, I think it's just to the detriment of the actual product. And the same here, they've absolutely cannibalised the original movie that was released in 2017. So please leave filmmakers alone to complete their own work to how they want, and then we can ascertain whether certain parts are needed or not. But I'm so glad we got what we got here with Zack Snyder's version of Justice League and shoot the extra scenes that he needed. I believe the one with Batman in the Nightmare timeline was a new scene. I think it looked great, and it redeemed Jared Leto's Joker. I think he looks sinister, and for the short time we saw him, I think the character works. So let's have a score. This is 4.5 stars for me. It's fantastic, it looks great, it's very emotional, it draws you in, and did I say it looks beautiful? It looks stunning, and I'd love to see a part 2, please, Warner Brothers. Let's keep the Snyderverse going because, like I said earlier, they're onto something here. People want to see this, and I understand this did very well, and it's very well reviewed, so let's continue the Snyderverse, Warner Brothers, please, and let's continue Ben Affleck's Batman. Hopefully he wants to do it. I'd love to see it, and I know I'm not the only one. So, that's my review, guys, for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And just to leave you with a little bit about myself, I'm not what they call a shill, and all my reviews are completely genuine. I'm not swayed by any freebies from the studios, not even any free tickets. And I'll speak to you again next time for another review soon. Take care.